Hello and welcome in. I am MissKinghorn and we are back here in The Sims 4, and today we are building another family home, and this time we are doing a Christmassy, festive, holiday themed build. It is coming up to that time of the year, and yeah, I am really in the festive mood right now. I have put up all the decorations. I have lights everywhere. I have trees. I have wreaths. It is coming up to that time of the year. It's, as I'm calling this, at the very start of December. So I'm really looking forward to holidays this year, and to the whole festive sort of season. And yeah, I have some cool builds coming. So, spoiler alert, stay tuned for those. But yeah, I decided to do a really nice, very decorated kind of family home here. It is quite small. This is actually on a 20 by 15 lot in Copperdale. This is, or was originally, the water tower way. So this is the one that's one of those lots that I absolutely hate. But it worked perfectly for this kind of build. It's got the big water tower in the background. You might occasionally see it in there. It's actually a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom family home that literally looks like the holidays and Christmas have thrown up in this house. So brace yourselves if you are not a fan of the holiday season. I will say goodbye here, because yeah, we go very OTT with this build. I don't necessarily think I've done a build like this for a couple of years, and I really wanted to kind of just go for it, and I very much did with this house. So this is a family of 4 that live here. They are 2 parents and 2 children. They are both children. There is a little boy and a little girl, and I kind of thought that they were twins. In here they do share a bedroom, and I have got to be honest with you, I made a mistake, and I'm gonna hold my hands up right now. This is an issue because I don't do gameplay, so I don't know what the kids can and can't do. Yeah. So in the kids room, you'll see obviously later on when we do them, I've placed out like an easel and paints, because I've had one of the kids, when I created them, I wanted them to be really creative and really kind of, yeah, into all of that. Turns out they can't actually use the easel. So yeah, you'll just have to wait a little while in there. But what I have done is I have got out the little holiday gift box thing, which sets out that you can place all of the lights and stuff. So I have come along and just jumped for a teeny tiny second into gameplay and have put some little icicles on all of the fences. Don't get too attached to them, most of them disappear. And also around all of the eaves and stuff. I just thought it just added a really nice touch, and I wanted to do it as I was doing it so I could kind of see what it all looked like in here. But while I was waffling, you would have seen I have placed down basically the shell of this build, and then I have also placed in the wallpapers, the fences. We have a little garage that is going to become really important to kind of gameplay, and I'll tell you more when we decorate that space into there. But yeah, I felt like this was a really nice little family home in here for a family really excited for Christmas. Yeah, don't worry if there's extra children at the front. Somebody just randomly walked past into there. But now doing the windows. So upstairs is the 1 bathroom and 2 bedrooms. Sorry, wrong way around. Into there, and then downstairs is basically just the big kitchen, diner, and living space in there. I really like this brick and sort of wooden facade. It's something I have done in quite a lot of in the past, but you would have seen I would have gone through quite a few different kind of wallpapers for the upstairs, because we've got quite a lot of new wooden sort of beams and shutters and stuff like that from eventual weights. I really wanted to kind of get that in for this, but it just didn't really work. So in the end I went for a standard kind of one into there. Now these plants, some of these disappear because I actually find some really nice kind of hanging garlands, I think that's what they're called, in there, and we place all of those down in there, and it just makes it feel even nicer than those sort of flower boxes, which I think wouldn't be flowering this time of year anyway. I don't think anything really flowers in the winter really, and yeah, we sort of just changed it up. But this again feels very kind of American build. I seem to be doing quite a few of these recently into here, but you'll also notice I struggle to find a way of how to get down into this garage, and you're gonna sort of see here I end up having to place the door on the side of the build here, so I had to move some of the plants. It is accessible. You will see that when it comes to the screenshots, that the dad actually does go in there for reasons that I will explain in a second into there, but just a few more sort of decorations and sort of bits and pieces. So I have drain pipes, I have some lighting coming in as well, just to kind of help illuminate this, because at night this lot looks gorgeous, as you would imagine, into there. We have some trees, we have some bushes, and yes, I did actually place a car outside the garage. I don't know anybody here in the UK who actually places their car in the garage. Yeah, it's just something we don't really do. For some reason it's more of a storage room in here, and that is exactly what we use this for. So there were some Christmas presents coming in here, so I did actually get the box in here because I knew we would need it in here, and then I have placed a lot of this garage restoration kit. I'm not entirely sure what it was called now, but it's got like the woodworking, it's got all these benches and tools and things like that, and I really wanted this to be a really nice sort of man cave. I really wanted that to be his space in here, and I think it kind of actually really works. In here we have got the bikes. Now they are Christmas presents, and we do actually kind of have a few other bits and pieces coming through, but I thought the kids are not allowed in this space. This is Dad's workshop. He locks the door, he can sit down, he can have an hour or two to himself or whatever, and he can, yeah, it's his space, so the kids aren't allowed in here, so it's a perfect place to hide those presents. And I thought this would be a really nice little touch, that they're sort of hidden away in here. And I do also get in the new dumbbells. I don't think I've ever used them, and also the boxing sort of fitness punching bag thing. That's the limit of my fitness knowledge, but anyway, yeah, there's more presents coming through because yeah, why not? And here you'll see these garlands coming through. I totally forgot we even had these. So these actually came with seasons, and yeah, I placed a few more decorations on the outside here. So we have this sort of long stringing kind of thing. I think it's supposed to go over like a fireplace or something, but you know, it kind of really works. I love the deer, kind of the reindeer out in the front garden. It's just like one of those items that just gets pulled out, and I think it really works into there. And yeah, the outside of this feels very Christmassy. Now this is where I have my dilemma that I always have. I build the outside, I decorate the outside, and then I come in and I look and go, what on earth am I supposed to do with this? It happens every year. It happens every build, happens every time. And yeah, in the end, I kind of have to rejiggle things around. So some things you're going to see actually disappear. I was originally going to try and do a separate living and dining room all in one sort of section and have a really nice big kitchen. That didn't really work. Both of them were just too small for what they really wanted. So in the end, we've kind of gone for a really nice open kind of large living space in there, and then a kitchen diner on the other kind of pop out bit into there. But I've gone for a really nice soft kind of cream wallpaper in here, and then I go a little bit crazy in the kids' bedroom. This is probably one of the tamer bedrooms because I knew it was going to be shared, because there just was not space to put 2 kids' rooms in here, although I suppose in a way I could have done, but it just would have made it all, they would have been quite small. So this is like a home for like kids, or you could obviously change it into like toddlers if you wanted to age them down, but yeah. And then obviously I would move when you have teenagers, because they would not like to share a room. Anyway, let's get back into this build. So we're coming in and we're now decorating the living space. So I wanted a big fireplace. Obviously we've got a big chimney in here, and I thought it would just be really, really nice and kind of cozy to have a nice sort of fireplace in here, central to the room. It does pose problems later on. We'll get to that into there. I was trying to find these candles. You know, like when you know in your head that there is this item, you just can't find it. Yeah, I had this all the time. The lighting above here was also really weird. I think because I had to scale down the garland on the fireplace, it just froze the lighting out slightly. Super weird, super annoying. I have actually just placed other lights around it just to try and make it look a little bit brighter into there. But now we have our Christmas tree. This moves, and it moves, and it moves, and yeah, you guessed it, it moves. I was never sort of satisfied with how this worked. I could not get this room to fit, to look right. Because it's basically a hallway, an entranceway and a living space, and I knew I needed to have the Christmas tree in here. I needed sofas, TV, yeah. In the end, this is kind of the layout we went for. So we've got the really nice soft snuggly sofas. I love these sofas. They're from the Book Nook kit, which came out a good few years ago now, I feel like, but yeah, it's one of those really nice cozy fluffy sofas that I could just get lost in, because I really like snuggling up on the sofa with a good book, blanket, cup of hot chocolate. Yeah. Anyway, moving on. From there, we have a giant big fern inside. I feel like this is maybe something that maybe was like one of their parents, like the parents' parents, like the grandparents, and maybe they've died and they wanted it because they've been growing it for 20-30 odd years, and it's just, yeah, it's one of those like heirloom sort of items that they've just handed down and they've got in the living room, and it's so sentimental to them. That's kind of what I was thinking with it in here, because it doesn't really match, but I think that whole kind of storyline really, really works in here. And now the kids come in. So welcome to the clutter. We do also have the chessboard on there. I feel like I kind of use that as, like, you know, at Christmas or the holidays when everybody like in the family is all coming together and you play board games, and yeah, that's kind of what I really wanted. So I do have the chessboard. They can't obviously use it. It is just a decorative item, but it just gives you that kind of idea and that in there. Yeah, and then we have the rocket ship kind of cardboard cut out, I think more for the little boy. We have the art, kind of kids art station over here as well. Some toys thrown around, artwork on the wall. I just really wanted it to feel like that family kind of home where it's very cluttered, it's very lived in, it's very, yeah, but it's not OTT in here. So now we're going to come back to the entranceway. In here we've got a little bit of shoes, we've got some storage boxes, we've got some more games in here, and we've also got like the thermostat, the alarm and things like that coming through. And I really wanted some more books. We've used the Book Nook kit, so I thought, well, let's kind of go a bit crazy with books. Maybe they're like avid readers, or maybe that's just something like that mum does in sort of the evening or something. Like the kids could be watching telly or something and she's just snuggled up on the sofa reading those books. Yeah, and I've also got some nice little candles there as well. For some reason I forgot to paint the wall in there, so I had to move the stairs out for a second. But now we're going to jump over into the kitchen space. So this wasn't actually the biggest kind of kitchen. It proved to be quite, well, it's not quite a challenge. There's plenty of room. I just couldn't figure out a configuration that I really liked. I was thinking about putting a bar across, but then thought I wouldn't have anywhere for the fridge. Yeah, I basically make a mountain out of a molehill, and then probably cut most of it out. So yeah, as I do into here, and voila, there is now lots of clutter everywhere. I placed some of those little things. They just really nice little storage. I feel like would really work in the kitchen for maybe keeping your potatoes and your vegetables and things like that in here. And then you guessed it, most of this items are from the kitchen clutter kit, because that is just gorgeous. And yeah, we also get in a few other bits and pieces from the Chef Hustle kit, because we also use their appliances and stuff, so I thought that would really kind of work in there. But there is plenty of space for your sort of Sims to cook and to all of those bits and pieces into there as well. And I am still loving these new, I say new, not really that new anymore, but new counters and cabinets. I feel like they just fit everywhere, which is what we really wanted from a kitchen. I feel like we have some kind of styled ones, and it just doesn't, yeah, you can't use them everywhere. So in here, I've just done that, and then I place out this little kind of fake island. I did think about putting in a full island when I did the counters, but it just didn't really work. So I figured, why not just use this little one? I couldn't quite get the colours to match, but we get there in the end. So yeah, here is now the dining room aspect of this build. You will notice I fixed those windows. For some reason on the outside they look like they're even. They are not. Yeah, I don't know why they weren't placed properly. Anyway, we've also got some gorgeous new trees. I think they're olive trees, just either side of that, just to give it a really nice kind of feel. And then we also place out the nice big picture, and I use the new rug. Yeah, I am loving those new items we got in the latest update. Sort of the rugs everywhere, pictures, they just all really work into there. And now we're going to move on to the upstairs. So I wanted a little office space. I did think about putting the desk in the parents' bedroom, but then thought that might be a little bit restrictive, because I feel like even now kids, when they get homework in like elementary, primary school, they kind of have to use the computer for it. So I thought, let's have one in the kind of common area up here. I was thinking of a bookshelf, but then thought this would be even better. We have quite a few books that double up as bookshelves in the as well. So yeah, and again, new lamp, new rug, I love them, and they kind of fit anywhere. They're not necessarily too styled that they kind of have to go in a certain type of home, which I think really works in there. Now we're going to jump into the kids' room. So I have got a pink and blue bed. Yeah, I went there, and yeah, I've kind of kept the walls very neutral, so it's all very kind of white, and then we've got this kind of forest kind of trees on this big feature wall. It was just a long stretch of a wall, and I didn't really know what to do with it, so I figured, let's place a whole row of sort of trees down here. And we don't have a bedside table, but we do have this sort of dresser in here that kind of works perfectly for what I really wanted. And then yeah, more clutter, more kids stuff coming through, and yeah, just bits and pieces just to make this feel very lived in, very homey, very kind of cozy. And this rug with the pink and blue, perfect for what I really wanted. And now I think that when I was doing this, I was like, right, the kids have been told, you've got this section of wall, you've got this section, you can kind of personalise it. And that's kind of what I did. Either side of the door, they're even, they're they work really well. So I figured let's go for it. So the little girl has the unicorn, she's got the rainbow, she's got this whole sort of big poster on here as well. And yeah, it all kind of fits in. Trying to get this to move up was a nightmare into there, but we got it in the end. And yeah, then we also get in some little twinkly lights and some stars and things like that in there. And then this is where the boys' kind of creativity kind of comes in, and I mess up. So here is the artist said that your child cannot use. I don't know why they can't. I feel like maybe just put them on a little stall. Like, yeah, the animation should really work. But yeah, apparently they can't use this. So, welcome to an area that is completely and utterly useless. Anyway, moving on. We do also have a big doll's house down here, and yeah, a few other cluttered pieces for them. We get in the book, backpacks for sort of school, things like that in there as well. And now we're going to jump over into the parents' bedroom. Now this is a huge bedroom that you didn't see the jump where I looked at it and I panicked because I did not know how to decorate this room. So yeah, we ended up getting in this gorgeous bed. I think this is my all-time favourite bed in here. I feel like I use it everywhere. I think it's from Business and Hobbies. I can't remember off the top of my head. There are quite a few new, really nice beds, but I think this one is my favourite. In here, we do actually change the colour scheme of this, but I also wanted these bay windows to have a little bit of more life in them. So we've kind of got lots of sort of clutter. We've got some more presents that are hiding behind the curtain. In here, big plants, another cushion, because maybe it was supposed to be on the bed, but we all know what happens to decorative pillows. They just get thrown off, and somebody forgot to make the bed properly this morning into there. And then yeah, I thought that was just a really nice kind of little just little detail, and I don't think I've ever really decorated those sort of bay windows before, but now we've got lots of sort of makeup, perfume, flowers, aftershave, bits and pieces into there. But we are very quickly running out of time in this build, so if you have enjoyed it, then please give it a big thumbs up, and you can subscribe to my channel. It would mean so very much to me. You can find this build on the gallery right now, and you can find all of my others there as well, and lots more sort of screenshots and information on my social medias. The links to those are down in the description, so check those out. But for now, I hope you have a very Merry Christmas and a Happy Holidays, and I will see you very, very soon. Bye everyone!